Welcome to Express Video Learning presented by Cost Plus Electric Supply. I'm Eric and we're here to show you. Today we're talking about Lutron's Caséta Wireless system. Now most of you are familiar with Caséta in solving a wireless three-way or four-way problem, but Caséta is much more than that. For every customer that you have that wants lighting controls in their space, whether it be a small retail space or even a larger custom home, Caséta gives you a very easy, app-driven interface to make sure that once your devices are added, you have total control of your lighting needs through hardwired devices, Pico wireless controls, tabletop adapters, and yes, of course, shades. Now let's get into programming. Now let's associate a Pico with a hardwired device. I'm simply going to put my device in learn mode. I'm going to hold it for approximately 7 seconds. You're going to see the light come on when it's ready. The light is now in programming mode. I simply come to my Pico device, I hold the off button for an equivalent 7 seconds, and you're going to see that the light will fluctuate when it's ready to be paired. And that's all we got. Your Pico is now paired to your main switch. Let's do a more complicated scene. Now remember, a scene is a group of different lights connected together so that you can have one button push that affects multiple devices. Scenes are usually for when you leave the house or come to your house or set a party scene. These are the ways that you can control multiple sources with just one device. Let's get to it. So I'm going to associate my lights here by holding them into the off position, getting them into program mode. They'll illuminate when they're ready to be associated. Now they are. So I'm going to associate to this Pico device. Hold it for 7 seconds, and they'll flash when they're associated. Okay, that's great. That was easy because my devices are really close together. You can always add devices one at a time. Like I'm going to go over to my shade and associate my shade to that same Pico control. I'm going to open up my shade. I'm going to put it into programming mode. You'll see the light illuminate. Now this one's a little bit tricky because it doesn't raise up and down, but the light will flash quickly when it's associated. Again, it's about 7 seconds. It's now associated. So we're ready to rock. We're going to close our shade. Now we have to decide, what do we want the scene to be like? Well, I don't like people looking at my windows at night, so I'm going to close my shade completely. I want to make sure that my light is on full blast in my kitchen because I'm about ready to cook. And then I just want the table lamps to be just barely glowing, just to make sure I have some ambiance in the house. So now I'm ready to go. All the devices are at the level I want to set. I'm simply going to hit my hold my favorites button for about 3 to 5 seconds. The only complicated thing about this is that this doesn't do any flash or mark up and down or anything like that to let you know it's associated, but trust me, it is. So what I'm going to do is make sure everything is off. My shades are usually about 50% during the day just to make sure that they are letting some sunlight in but keeping most of the heat out. That's the benefit of the shades. But when I come in, my Pico is mounted in my garage. I simply hit my favorites button and you're going to see everything go to the level I set. Now that's a bit more complicated scene control, but it's absolutely what your customers are expecting. And it even is easier if you download the app and have the bridge unit installed with Caséta. Happy programming!